Welcome back to Flame Fate Chronicles, where even love wears shackles, and the heart finds comfort in cages. Tonight's story isn't about good or evil. It's about the terrifying space in between. This is Bound by Shadows, where the line between captor and lover vanishes, and only the soul remembers the cost. They say you can feel it, right before your life changes. The air tightens, time slows, your senses sharpen, like your body knows something your mind refuses to accept. For me, it happened at mile marker 47, right before the bend in the Cascades. I was on my way to a wellness retreat my best friend practically forced me to attend. "It'll be good for you," she said. "Disconnect from your work. Let someone take care of you for once." Funny. Someone did take care of me. They just never planned on letting me go. I was driving solo. It was dusk, and the trees bled shadows onto the road like spilled ink. I had just switched the playlist to something calm, Norah Jones, I think, when the tire blew. Pop, jolt, skid. I pulled over, heart racing. There was no cell service, of course, because that's how horror stories begin. I was crouched beside the front tire when I heard it, footsteps behind me, fast, crunching the gravel like they belonged there. I stood up quickly. Too late. The hand wrapped around my mouth was gloved. The second arm pulled me back, dragging me toward the woods. My scream died before it ever reached the trees. I came to in a wooden room. No windows, no doors I could see. Just walls of pine and the humming of something mechanical, maybe a generator. There was a cot, a basin, a toilet in the corner. My wrists were zip-tied but not tightly, like someone wanted me restrained but not injured. The door opened. A man walked in wearing a hood and voice modulator. "Camille," he said, "you're safe now." Safe. That was the first lie. But strangely, not the last I believe. I wasn't shackled to a wall or locked in a basement like the news stories warned us about. But that didn't make the silence any less suffocating. The cabin was rustic, remote, and untraceable. Whoever had built it had done so with intention. No creaks, no drafts, and definitely no cell signal. The lights flickered once in a while, probably from an off-grid generator. The only clock was internal, my heart pounding a rhythm I couldn't escape. And then there was him. He wore a black hoodie with a stitched-down mask and some kind of vocal distortion. Think Darth Vader, but calm, eerily calm. He never yelled, never threatened. That would have made things easier, I think. But instead, he spoke like he knew me. "You're Camille. Camille Reyes. I've followed your work. Trauma therapist, works primarily with first responders and abuse survivors." His voice had a chilling curiosity to it, like he was reciting trivia from a bio page. Not malicious, not mocking, just fascinated. I didn't answer. "I'm not here to hurt you." That was lie number 2, because this was already hurt. The first 3 days blurred together in a fog of exhaustion and high alert. I didn't sleep, not really. Every time I dozed off, I jolted awake, expecting his shadow to be in the room. Sometimes it was. He never called me by anything but my full name, never touched me, not even to feed me. He'd leave food on a tray, knock once, and walk away. Water bottles, plain rice, boiled eggs. Enough to keep me alive. I tried to count time through meals. It only made me more paranoid. On the 4th day, the door opened and I snapped to attention. He brought a chair. Not for me, for him. He sat, removed his mask, but kept the shadow of the hoodie pulled low. And then he said something I never expected. "Tell me about the night you stopped believing in people." I stared at him like he'd just recited a dream I didn't know I'd told. What was this? Therapy? Interrogation? Or some twisted form of connection? I didn't answer him at first, but after an hour of silence, I whispered, "My father left. Christmas Eve, I was 8. His head tilted, just slightly. Then he left the room. No response, no commentary, just left. That night something shifted. He returned hours later with a book, Little Women, my favorite. How did he know? Was it in an interview I gave years ago? A tweet? An old podcast? I couldn't be sure. But when he handed it to me, I didn't throw it. I held it, and I cried. Not for him, for me. For the me who once believed love stayed. The next morning, I found a soft blanket at the edge of the cot. Cashmere, expensive. This man, his captor, wasn't starving me, beating me, or even restraining me anymore. No, he was doing something worse. He was making me grateful. That's how it begins. Not with affection, but relief. It was raining the day he gave me the option. You can leave. Just like that. No dramatic music, no threats. He set the keys down on the edge of the desk, pointed toward the front door, finally unlocked. The catch? There was no phone, no vehicle, just miles of wilderness and a sky split with thunder. I stared at the keys. He didn't move, just stood by the window like he had no stake in my decision at all. You said you weren't finished with me, I whispered. I'm not, he replied, but maybe you are. Every instinct screamed, go! But my body stayed seated. What was I even running from anymore? Or worse, what was I afraid I'd be running toward? I didn't take the keys. Instead, I asked him a question I never thought I'd ask. What would happen if I stayed? His silence answered for him. Everything would change. That night, we sat across from each other and played another round of cards. We didn't speak, just dealt, played, looked. And the look in his eyes? It wasn't dominance. It wasn't manipulation. It was lonely. It mirrored my own, and I hated that I understood it. Choice is a funny thing. Sometimes it looks like freedom. Sometimes it looks like a trap. But in that moment, I chose him. Or maybe I chose not to be alone. And I haven't decided which was worse. We had a power outage that night. The generator went out. The lights blinked and disappeared. Total darkness. I was used to fear by then. But that night, I wasn't afraid of the dark. I was afraid of what I'd do if I found him in it. I lit a candle. He brought out a second blanket and sat beside me near the heater. We didn't touch, but the proximity was charged, like a wire buzzing between us. Then he whispered, "My name is Elias." It was the first true thing he'd told me. No mask, no games, just his name. We talked for hours after that. About childhood, about betrayal, about what it feels like to be invisible in a room full of people who swear they love you. I told him things I hadn't even told my therapist. I asked him why me. He didn't dodge the question. You reminded me of someone I lost, someone who didn't deserve what the world did to her. His voice trembled. I wanted to protect you, but I didn't know how to do it without control, without this. The candle flickered, and I kissed him. I wish I could say I don't remember why, that it was impulse or desperation, but I do remember. I kissed him because I wanted to feel wanted. I kissed him because I was tired of pretending that I hadn't grown addicted to his eyes, his voice, his pain. I kissed him because I believed, in that moment, that he was the only person who saw me. He kissed me back slow, cautious, like he was afraid of what it meant too. And when it ended, neither of us said a word. We just sat there, inches apart, more captive than ever. That kiss didn't feel like a mistake. It felt like the beginning of something inevitable. And that terrified me more than any locked door ever had. I should have known the peace wouldn't last. But there's something about soft words and shared secrets that makes you forget you're still in a cage. It happened the next morning. I woke up alone, blanket folded beside me, Elias gone. When I stepped into the main room, I saw it, a box, left open on the table. Inside were newspaper clippings, photos, a case file with my name on it, and one I recognized instantly. Rebecca Ward, a former client, one I couldn't help, one who spiraled into addiction and was later arrested, one who died by suicide while in prison. And then I knew. Elias didn't pick me at random. Rebecca Ward was his sister. He walked in moments later, expression unreadable. I didn't scream, didn't accuse, didn't even cry. I just asked, "Was I your revenge?" He didn't answer right away. At first. The silence that followed could have split the earth. I wanted you to feel powerless, like she did, like I did, but I didn't know. Didn't know what. His voice cracked. That you'd understand me, that you'd see me, that I'd see you. I backed away. Everything I'd let myself believe came crashing down. The softness, the comfort, the illusion of connection. All of it built on a lie. And yet my heart didn't harden. It splintered. Because I'd let myself need him. That night, I sat in the dark, the box beside me, memories flooding in. I remembered Rebecca's tears in our sessions, her stories about her brother, how he used to sneak her candy, how he once beat up a boy who called her trash. She'd loved him. He'd broken trying to save her. And now, he was trying to save me. It wasn't just Stockholm. It was trauma, layered on grief, stitched with need, and wrapped in isolation. I hated him for what he did, and I still loved him for who he was. Both were true. He gave me the phone that night. No tricks, no distortion. "You can call them," he said. "Tell them where you are. End this." His eyes were red, his hands shaking. I took the phone, but I didn't dial, not right away. Instead, I asked him one last question. "If I walk away, what will you do?" His answer gutted me. "Disappear. For good." I called. The words felt foreign in my mouth. "This is Camille Reyes. I'm alive. I need help." They tracked the signal in under an hour. Sirens in the distance. Flashlights in the trees. I looked at Elias one last time. He kissed my hand, whispered, "You were never broken," and vanished into the forest. The next few weeks were chaos. Therapy, interviews, a media circus. They called it Stockholm syndrome, trauma bonding, a psychological survival mechanism. But what I felt didn't fit neatly in textbooks. It wasn't survival. It was connection, warped, unwanted, unforgettable. It's been 8 months. I don't flinch when people touch me anymore. I don't sleep with the light on. But I still dream of him, not the captor, not the criminal. The boy who once tried to protect his sister, the man who believed I could save him. They say trauma rewires the brain. What they don't say is that sometimes it also rewires the heart, and mine still beats with the echo of his name. You've just heard Bound by Shadows, a tale of trauma, obsession, and the heartbreak of loving someone who broke you. Here at Flame Fate Chronicles, we don't just tell stories. We open wounds so healing can begin. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because somewhere, someone is still trapped. Maybe not in a cabin, but in a memory.